Alrighty, I figured that the next thing to probably look at here is the motherboard and the fact that it's got some items in it that I don't know what they are, and there was no manual that came with it. So I'm looking here to see if there is a manual. I mean, I know all the key features of this and everything. It's a good board. So I'm using this Gigabyte board, and one of the things about it is the 10 gigabit LAN, and that's one of the things I really wanted. I had to pay I had to pay some extra just to get that, because there's a lot of extra stuff on here that I didn't need. But it's what I do need here is a listing of what the extra parts are. And DIY friendly, yeah, easy to plug things in. Right, here's how you touch the buttons. All right, let's see here. That doesn't help. Support. And then Realtek drivers. Let's see, manual. And is this for the one that yeah, the Z890, Chinese, English. Yeah, I think we're going English. BIOS setup. All right, well, we're not at that point yet. Is there anything about the hardware? This appears to be the wrong manual. Does that say God mode? Oh, gear mode. I'm like, it's got a God mode? Oh, what's that? Gee whiz. This is all about the BIOS. Hey, where's the hardware portion that's going to show me where the fan goes that they supplied, where the temperature sensors get plugged in? This isn't it. Well, this isn't, you know, this feels kind of dumb. Really? I mean, I got the box here. It didn't come with a manual. So it's got extra parts in here. View product details, join our membership. More QR codes. Oh, it's just Z890 chipset. This is the Auros master. Okay, is there more manuals here? Okay, so this is just BIOS setup. This doesn't say anything here. RAID setup guide, unique features introduction, multilingual installation guide. All right, I'm going to look. Let's see, 1001. I don't know what that is. I'm going to look at this. This is it. All right. So identifying your motherboard revision. Oh, we have multiple revisions. It just came out. How can we have multiple revisions if it just came out? All right. What is it saying to look here? Way up here. Okay. Revision 1.0. All right. 1.0 it is. Yep. That's what I would think. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just pre-planning for more versions, which is fine. 'D's nuts. What is with you, buddy? Let's see here. All right. Motherboard layout design. Good. Here's what I needed. This is what I needed. So yeah, and this has dual BIOS too, I think. It has buttons on the back so I can actually just hit reset if I need to. All right, so here's the motherboard layout, and stress putting a new computer together. Yeah, why are you calling me names? So, all right. I think this all looks fine. Let's see. Let's see if it has anything that it talks about with the box contents. There we go. One antenna, one DDR wind blade. That'd be the memory wind blade. So, and 2 SATA cables. We're not going to use any cables. We're not going to use the antenna either. 1 noise detection cable. What? Noise detection? That's what that little tiny thing is. It's a little microphone. And 2 thermal cables. Yeah, so I knew that there was some thermal stuff there. And 1 G connector. It sounds like that sounds like something you'd go into a sex shop to buy. So, all right, is it going to go over these things? Hardware installation. Precautions. Yes, electrostatic discharge. Yes, I do know about this, and I don't have. Let me think about that, about how I would ground myself. Because I can't just ground myself on the table or nothing. So, yeah, these baby boomers are much older than me. Yeah. So I am most definitely Gen X. My father is a boomer, baby boomer. Okay. So yeah, I know the wire. So the other way to do static discharge is to have a computer that's plugged in that has metal on it, and you can touch the computer and you're grounded. So yeah. Okay. Woo. 256 gig. I mean, I got 128 I'm putting into this. All right. So there is integrated graphics, which I don't think that I'm going to be using. Um, so um, I don't know. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that the AI, the NPU in this, is also what would do the display graphics. And so since I'm going to be wanting to use that for AI functions, I will not use any of the onboard video. So, yeah. Right. And the LAN, 10 gigabit, which I've got a 10 gigabit hub that I'll be looking at, or switch. I don't know why I keep calling it a hub. I don't know that you can even buy a hub these days. Hubs were just all the traffic was broadcast out to everywhere. Switch actually kind of directs the traffic. And you can't do those kind of speeds on a hub. So, hardware monitor. And I did see some stuff on this about, I mean, I saw some shit where people were plugging in screens that were just showing just information about the computer and everything, and it was kind of crazy. Like, it's actually, the screen is in as part of the case. So yeah. Oh my God, I scored. I can get Norton Internet Security, the OEM version, for free with this. Jeez. Okay, installing the CPU in the cooler. Fine. Yeah, I know how to figure that out. They're keyed. So the CPUs are always keyed. You have to put it in, it won't sit in the socket correctly if you've got it in wrong. Burn, Norton, burn. Yeah, no, I ain't putting that shit on my computer. Don't worry. So, yeah, not at all. And look at the size of that cooler. That is so dinky. Like, what are they thinking? I don't know. Maybe I've just gone overboard with doing the Noctua, but okay, installing the memory. So we're going to have 4 modules. Here's what I was talking about earlier about the modules and which ones went together. So so the black ones are a set and the silver ones are a set. Since I'm going to be putting filling all 4 of them, I won't need to worry about which slots to use, I'll just put them in the sets. Make sure that each box that I open, since it's all the same memory, but keeping them as pairs, and make sure that they're paired correctly. Here is the DDR wind blade. So this is the little fan that was on it that I was looking at, that had this funny little, bent connector. And so it's going to go down in there, attached together with the motherboard using the provided mounting screw. And so I guess that, connect the fan header cable to the DDR wind blade, to the fan header supports DDR PMIC temperature reading. So maybe this isn't even going to turn on if I don't need it. I don't know. The included DDR wind blade is specifically designed for memory cooling. Connect it to the designated fan header. Okay, well, I can do that. And you can read temperatures from the DDR temperature monitoring point. It says note, like, I don't know. The DDR monitoring point, is that a software thing? It might be. And adjust the fan operating mode using the Gigabyte control center. I've never been a fan of these control center items. I like to run without them if I can. It's just like the NVIDIA stuff for our video cards. Like the full package there that's beyond just the drivers is so much bloat. And, maybe it doesn't take very much CPU time and stuff for it running, and very much memory or whatever. But I always feel like the more stuff you're running, the more pressure you're putting on the system, and the more, performance you're going to lose. And so I will try it. I see someone there saying that Crimson saying run it, it's good. Yeah. And so I will try it out, and it'll probably be good for monitoring stuff. I always can, if the software is not required for any of the operations, like hopefully the software is not required for it knowing when the temperature of the memory is getting hot enough and it wants to turn on the fan. Hopefully the software is not doing that. Hopefully it's something in the BIOS, and it's just monitoring it, and the software is just a good way of seeing what's going on. So the question of what memory I'm going to run, so I have Corsair 6400 memory, which is the top end of what this this can do. It's !Amazon in the description, or in Twitch chat, link in the description in YouTube. And this will overclock to higher memory, but I am not going to be overclocking this as a general rule. The only time, so one of the interesting things about this whole motherboard and all of the AI boom stuff going on is that kind of on the fly, we can let AI adjust any overclocking going on in these new motherboards. And that's a very new thing. And so with that said, if I am using this for my work, like spreadsheets and stuff, I'm not going to have any overclocking going on. I want absolute stability. If I'm using it for gaming, I am most likely not going to be doing any overclocking, because again, I want stability. Like, this is going to perform fast enough. I don't need to get from 120 FPS up to 144 FPS because it's going to make some amazing difference and it's worth overclocking. I don't think that I need to do that. But when it comes to crunching of data for AI, like some of the things that I'll be doing with this is making some AI video. Well, with that video, it's actually it's exclamation point computer. Now that I think about it, I should make Amazon the thing too. If I'm going to be processing a lot of video and I can get an extra 10% speed out of everything by letting it overclock, then at that point, I would find it acceptable. And if for some reason the overclocking caused it to crash or generated errors, as long as that doesn't happen too often in that environment, I'm fine with it. But I do not want any of those crashing or error things when I'm working or when I'm gaming. I don't want that. So, and if I need to overclock to run a game properly, it's time to build a new computer. So anyway, all right, installing expansion cards. I know how to do that. Here's the back panel. Oh, the clear CMOS button. Use this button to clear the CMOS values, BIOS configuration, and reset CMOS values to factory defaults when needed. Always turn off your computer and unplug the power cord from the power outlet before using the clear CMOS button. Really? Is that a rule? Like, interesting. Do not use the clear CMOS button when the system is on, or the system may shut down and data loss or damage may occur. Now, it says to unplug the power cord. So there must be a battery on here that's going to respond to the button. It is very typical for motherboards to have a battery on them. I didn't actually see one on this. I'm sure there's a battery on it. But I don't see it anywhere. So it's hidden. So yeah, and then okay, after system restart, go to the BIOS and load factory defaults. Okay, so I don't know if this has dual BIOS or not. I actually don't remember it. So a lot of the boards I was looking at did have dual BIOS, and that would be interesting. So this doesn't say anything on the box about it. What the heck is a dual BIOS? It's a BIOS that basically you can flip between one or the other. So you can have a BIOS that's set for like stability, and then another one that's set for AI, not for AI, but for overclocking and everything, so that you don't have to go in and redo everything each time you want to make a change. So it might actually be in the BIOS. It may only be that there's one BIOS, but it may allow for you choosing on boot which BIOS you want to load. And also, if one becomes corrupt, you have a backup. This is true. So, yeah. This only talked about clearing one, though. Clear it, and that was going to clear the whole thing. So, that'll be something that I'll have to play with. What's interesting is, since I'm using a stream machine and everything, I will be able to, if wanted, once we get this up and running, I will be able to show you the BIOS screens and everything without having to hold a camera in front of the monitor. So it should display out on the show if I wanted it to. So, all right. So here's the LAN. I didn't need all of this overclocking stuff. This motherboard was about $300 more just because I needed just this one feature, which is a 10 gigabit on the network. And I went ahead and did it because my Stream Machine also is 10 gigabit, and it is I want as high a throughput as possible for each one, through the machines, because I will be doing video via NDI. The video that you're looking at right here is via HDMI. The video right here is via NDI. So this is actually over the network, and and it works fine and everything. But I'm going to be running 4K monitors, 2 of them, and I actually want to run both of them over NDI. So I don't know if that's going to be possible. I still have my capture cards, which can do 4K. Both of them can do 4K. I have 3 capture cards in the Stream Machine. One of them is 1080p, and 2 of them are 4K. But if I run those at 4K, they're only going to capture at, I think, 30 frames a second. And so I want to try and do NDI at least 60, and for what's going out to the show. And I'll only use. I probably won't use a full gigabit for each one of those, each one of the monitors. It'll be probably in total like a gigabit or less, but there's going to be a lot of overhead and other stuff, and I don't know what's coming in the future. So anyway, that's what I have decided to go with. So onboard buttons, voltage measurement points. What are voltage measurement points? Use a multimeter to measure the following motherboard voltages. Wow. Okay. So in overclocking and in efficiency testing, you can both add more voltage or reduce the voltage, and so it has this monitoring points. I'm probably never going to use that. Never going to use that. But you see people who are testing all the stuff, seeing how absolutely fast they can get everything going and stuff, and they want to know how much voltage it is and everything. And it's great that it has that connector. It means that you don't have to build extra connectors to put in between things, if that'll tell you everything. I don't know if it will tell you everything, but if it will. All right, status LED is fine. That's all just normal stuff. All of the internal connectors, and we found 2 Gen 5 NVMe spots, and it looks like they're listing all of them at just under 12. It doesn't say anything about those being NVMe slots. All right, that's fine. All the fan headers, this is gonna be something that I have to pay a lot of attention to, depending on how many fans I'm running in the system. And I do like quietness. Like so the computers that I've got here right now are the Stream Machine. It's a big ass machine, and it's got it's a completely enclosed case, and it's got all kinds of it's got soundproofing in it. It's got foam on the inside and everything. And I really want things to be quieter. I don't want to hear these fans just blazing. And I certainly don't want it to sound like a server room. If any of you have ever been into a server room where all those fans just go in high speed and everything, like when I was doing stuff, working in server rooms, sometimes I would put these like earplugs, but they look like headphones. I would sometimes put those on because it was just so loud all the time. and tells more about how I blew up my liquid cooler. It blew itself up. It got a pinprick in it or something like that, and it leaked over a couple of things. So anyway, I won't be doing water cooling this time. Okay, I think that that this has, so this is everything that I was looking for, and I'm glad that we looked at this and everything. I actually have learned a couple of things, and I will use this as we build the computer. Oh, here's the battery. So the battery's just hidden under a case there. I didn't see it when I looked, so it must be under one of the covers. There's a big cover that goes over everything up here. That battery should last for the life of the motherboard. Should. They're expensive batteries, actually. So screen startup, the BIOS and everything, installing the operating system and drivers. Okay, we're good on that. Okay, I think that that actually, like, this episode here really is just kind of a good overview of the motherboard and its functionality and everything. So for watching on YouTube, see you in the next episode.